Hi everyone, welcome in a new video. Today I would like to do unboxing of this beautiful Tina Davies new collection, Fade Eyebrow Collection pigments. And I haven't seen them yet, so we are gonna open this box together. Oof. Okay, perfect. Let's check. I love it. Oh wow. Tina Davies Fade Eyebrow Pigment Color Chart. Wow, that looks so beautiful. Look at that. I'm gonna check what's here. Oh, this is really nice. This is Fade Eyebrow Pigment Color Chart, and you can basically see all kind of people, model reference guide, all kind of people from Fitzpatrick 1 to Fitzpatrick 6. And there is also written what kind of pigment you can use for everyone, and all CI codes and pigment temperature. This is really good. And pigment swatch. I also want to do pigment swatch on the paper right now, so I will do it in a second, but I want to talk about this a little bit more because I am really interested in these pigments. You know what? I really like to work with hybrid pigments or pigments where there is more inorganic ingredients in the skin, where there is more inorganic ingredients in the formula, because I found out that organic pigments are quite hard to remove. Okay, organic red is the one which is the most tricky for me, because I don't know if you know the old Permablend collection, but I was using it like 4 or 5 years ago, and I always had a problem because at that time I really didn't know anything about pigmentology in general. So the thing was that I was working with them, I saturated these brows quite a lot, which is not really good, because when you want to remove them later on, you can remove this carbon black quite easily with 1064 nanometer length, but the thing is that the red stays, the organic red stays, and it's crazy because it's so saturated and it's so strong, and this is really, it makes me feel uncomfortable and I don't feel safe when I use these kind of pigments. So I love hybrid pigments, but pigments which contain a little bit more inorganic ingredients, because these inorganic ingredients, we know that they leave the skin and you cannot see them as much after quite a short period of time, which is around 12 to 24 months. This is what you want, and this is what Fade collection is about. We don't have, I think, organic ingredients in this formula. I'm gonna check. Yeah. Oh, we have, but we have yellow. We have CI 56300, and this is organic yellow, yellow 138, but other than that, I think it's only, yeah, it's only inorganic ingredients. There is iron oxide black 77499, there is titanium dioxide white 77891, there is iron oxide red 77491, there is chromium oxide green 77288, and iron oxide yellow 77492. Why there is, in my opinion, I didn't create these pigments, but in my opinion, why I think Tina basically also used organic yellow is that this iron oxide yellow is very soft, and you basically cannot see it very quickly. So the formulation can change in a very short period of time. This is why you want to use organic yellow, which helps the formulation to stay a little bit more stable for a longer period of time, which is what we really want, because we want our clients to be happy and satisfied with the result for a longer amount of time, I would say. And I really like this formulation. I can see that she also has carbon black, which we know that there is quite a big difference between iron oxide black and carbon black. Iron oxide black CI code is 77499 and carbon black is 77266. There is a little bit of difference between these two. Iron oxide black is a little bit more like warmer black, and carbon black is a little bit like cooler black, and carbon black is very stable. Light fasten scale, on the light fasten scale, it has 8 out of 8. Let's check these beautiful pigments together. I love it. It looks so beautiful. There is a QR code. Tina Davies Fade Light Warm Blonde. This is really nice that they said also that it's a warm color, which is really easy for example, especially for beginners. It's really easy because I realize that my students, they don't know, they are not sure sometimes if the pigment is warmer or cooler. So I always tell them that maybe sometimes it's harder to only tell from one pigment, but if you also bring another pigment and you have 2 or 3 next to each other, then it's much easier to realize how cool or warm the pigment is. I want to show you the swatch of these pigments, and I also want to show you how they look in the water because I really love it. You can also see this undertone of the color and also molecular weight of the pigment, so I will show it to you. Here we can see light warm blonde, it looks really nice. Light neutral blonde, medium neutral brown, medium warm auburn, then we have medium warm brown, dark neutral brown, and there is, I guess, also for fits 5 and 6 deep cool brown, yeah, and deep warm brown. Very good. So this first Fade Light Neutral Blonde and Fade Light Warm Blonde, they have, okay, cosmetic ingredient is aqua and propylene glycol and ethyl alcohol. That's perfect. We know that isopropyl alcohol is basically banned in European Union because of the REACH regulation, which is from, I think, 2021, from January. We can also do a video about the REACH regulation because I think this is really important for you to know and understand. So if you are interested, let us know in the comment. And here I can see that they also okay, so there is CI77288, and we know that this pigment is chromium oxide green, which is green color. And why in general people use green color in the pigments? I think from the knowledge I know, it makes sense that it's because if you put iron oxide red in the skin, we know that these inorganic ingredients, yellow and black, they go away, and most often only this iron oxide red stays in the skin. That's why you can see so many like reddish, salmony color brows. And because we want to neutralize this, we use green. So we know that red neutralizes green and vice versa. So that means that if you have a little bit of chromium oxide green in the colors, in the formulation, especially inorganic pigment formulation, this is much safer to use. And I think we can go for this swatch, and we will show you how it looks like in real life on the paper. Here on the left side you can see dark warm brown, and on the right side you can see deep cool brown. I wanted to show you these two pigments, exactly these two pigments, because I want to show you how warm color looks and how cool color looks. You can see that this warm color looks really warm because of the more red in the ingredients or in the formula, I would say. And on the right side you can see that it's much cooler because there is much more black in the formula, I'm sorry. So dark warm brown is iron oxide red on the first place, and deep cool brown there is iron oxide black on the first place. So you can also see it on the bottle. There will be red on the first place on the left side and black on the right side on the bottle too. Okay, I just want to talk about FAQs a little bit because I think it's really important. You have a lot of questions. I also received a lot of questions because I was already posting this Tina Davies new collection. So I found on the Tina Davies website very good FAQ. First question: what is the difference between Fade and I Love Ink? Fade is a hybrid line of pigments that is comprised of mainly inorganic ingredients and uses less organic ingredients compared to I Love Ink. They are both hybrid pigment lines. From this sentence, I think that I've never tried these pigments on my clients yet. I will show you in the future videos. But if you know that you have a hybrid pigments where you have more inorganic ingredients in the formula, you have to work a little bit more, you have to saturate the brows a little bit more. You have to put your strokes very close to each other and put a lot of color into the skin, because we already know that with inorganic ingredients, if we put inorganic ingredients into the skin, we know that they heal much lighter compared to organic ingredients. So this is the first. Second, is Fade considered permanent or semi-permanent makeup pigment? Any deposit of color into the skin is considered permanent. This is true. There is a lot of people, they think that because we talk about semi-permanent makeup, it fades. Yes, but it almost always never leaves the skin if you put this pigment very deep into the skin. So when you want your clients to come back after 1 year and a half, 2 years with very light color or almost no color, you have to saturate the brows, but you have to make sure that it's not very deep. Very good for this is to use maybe 2.5 or 3.0 stroke of the machine, because if you use like machine with a low stroke, with like a soft machine, maybe 1.8 to maybe even 2.0, sometimes it's not good. It really depends on what kind of machine you are using, but I prefer to use 2.0, maybe even more 3.0 to 3.5 stroke of the machine, because if you have a longer stroke, that means that the machine is a little bit stronger, it has more power, so that means that you don't have to push and put a lot of pressure while you are tattooing, and you can beautifully implement the pigment into the skin. So this is the second one. What are inorganic ingredients? The first one. Inorganic or iron oxide based ingredients are derived from natural minerals and tend to appear more earthy and muted in color. This is why I really love inorganic ingredients. I know it's a little bit more work, and we have to we need a little bit more time to implement inorganic ingredients into the skin. But in my opinion, it's much safer to do, and it's also much more beautiful, because if you are using pigments where there is a lot of organic ingredients in the skin, which I was also using before, as you saw in my previous videos, I I wasn't really satisfied with the results most of the times because there was a lot of organic ingredients, and we already know that organic ingredients are a little bit more like bright and they shine, and when you stop the procedure, not stop, but when you're done with the procedure, the problem is that sometimes your clients are a little bit like, they are not happy that much because it's too warm for them, and you want your clients to be happy straight after. You want a good review, you want them to be happy to leave the studio and come back with the, I don't know, you want them to come back and they are looking forward to the procedure, not to be like, oh, Terezia, is it gonna be very like bright again because I didn't like it, and blah blah blah. We know how it goes. I think you already know this is a problem sometimes, so this is one of the reasons I really love inorganic ingredients in the pigments, and this is why I'm very excited to try Tina Davies on the client. And inorganic ingredients are more like muted, more earthy, and this, in my opinion, looks more luxurious, and also we want clients to come back with soft and beautiful result. I almost always try to choose the color which is a little bit lighter, because I know that they will want darker, but it's much safer for me because sometimes they think they want darker and they come back and they are basically happy with the result. They just maybe want to do a little bit more tail or a bottom part, but almost always my clients are happy with the result. They just want a little bit more color, but not always they want a different shade. I would say much more darker. I hope you enjoyed this video about the new Fade collection of Tina Davies pigments. I cannot wait to basically show you how I work with them, and I'm quite excited because I've never worked with them, so I will show it to you in a real life. Maybe we could also do a live stream, so let me know if you want a live stream how I work with Tina Davies Fade collection in real life, and that means that you can also ask questions about pigmentation in general. We would do powder brows, and I think it would be perfect. So let me know if you are interested, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!